In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your engine cooling fan on your Ford Focus. It's located where the radiator is. Before starting any job with the AC system, you're going to want to get it discharged by a professional. Next, you're going to remove your engine shield under here, as is missing. Remove your 3 in the back, 1, 2, 3 retainers, and then go to your front and remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Using a T30 Torx bit socket, remove your Torx bit screws. Remove your fasteners underneath. That one's missing. Do the same on the other side. Remove this lower plastic shield. Loosen up your drain plug for your radiator. You can use a flathead screwdriver, maybe a pair of pliers if it doesn't turn. Once it's done draining, you're going to close it down. Next, we're going to remove the radiator hoses. Using some locking pliers is my easiest way to go about this. You're going to squeeze your hose clamp. Now you can slide your hose clamp down. You're going to want to crack this loose if it's stuck on the neck of the radiator, just by twisting it. That should break it free enough, and then you're going to get a pry bar. Make sure you have a drip pan below. In case there's any remaining fluid in the system, which there probably will be. Not too bad. Let's push that off to the side. Now you're going to put your hose clamp back on the hose, but further up, so it's easier to install. Make sure it's in a position that you can get to. Here we are on the other side. Get on your hose clamp and loosen it enough to slide it down. You can release it there if you'd like. If you need to, break it free by twisting it. This one doesn't need it. For us, make sure you have a drip pan below, in case there's any residual fluid still in the system. Disconnect your fan plug. Push it on the tab in the back. Make sure you take it out of here too. Use a trim tool. You're going to want to push in on these and pull it out. Using a 13 millimeter, we're going to remove the nut for this line. After remove it, I'm going to pull it out and off to the side. Now we're going to go for this other one. using a 13 millimeter as well. I'm using a swivel socket so I can get in there. And remove that line. I'm also going to disconnect this connector just so I have a little bit more play with the line. Push it on this tab and pull it out. Before removing the lower radiator bracket, the support bracket for the radiator, you're going to want to support it with a stool or something so it doesn't fall out of the car after you take the bolts out. So in order to remove this, we have to take out these two bolts, but first we have to take out these two connectors. So use a trim tool to remove these connectors and get them out of the way. Or underneath on the driver's side, under the bumper. And then you're going to take this one out, move that away. Now you can see two bolts, and we're going to use a 10 millimeter socket to remove those. So now we're on the other side. Remove this bolt. It's the one in the back near the radiator hose. I'm also using a 10 millimeter socket for that. And then remove the other one on the other side. Remove these snap-in things for your shutter before lowering the lower radiator support. Bend it back. It does give you a little seam there to bend it back. And now I'm going to pick my car up. You're going to lower it down. Make sure you check periodically to make sure there's nothing hung up. So at this point, it might be good to have an assistant just holding it still so it doesn't tip over once it is completely out of the vehicle. Go ahead. Keep going. Okay, stop. So now we're going to remove this grommet, which is easier to get to now that it's lower. So I'd say maybe when you're halfway out, it'd be a good time to disconnect this and this wire. You can try to do it earlier, but like I said, it's easier to get to that grommet once you lower it. You're going to put a flathead screwdriver up and flip this yellow piece up. Unhook it and then disconnect it. Keep going. Now we're going to take this foam piece off. You're going to want to move this against the wall. You're going to push up. After you have your fan against the wall, you're going to push in on this tab and then release it. Go on the other side and do the same thing. Once you have both sides up, you're going to pick up the fan and take it out. We're going to install our fan. Make sure all four corners are lined up before pushing it in. Push down. Now we're going to put our foam piece back. Make sure you tuck it underneath this grill shutter. this active grill shutter. Now we're ready to install in the vehicle. I'm going to lower the lift and line up my radiator, condenser, fan, shutter. You're going to want to keep checking to make sure that your unit is in the right spot and it's not going to hurt anything or break anything as you lower the car down. Or if you're underneath your car without a lift, jacking it up. I'm continuing to jack up my radiator condenser unit and moving things out of the way as I do. Now we're going to put our connector into the lower radiator support and put our grommet in on the other side. For the wire. Make sure the knobs that are on top of your radiator are lined up with the holders on the top support as you're jacking it up. If you're feeling resistance, you're going to have to move that around a little bit so it lines up. Make sure you do that for both sides. So make sure that guide is located inside this. And as you do that, make sure your connectors to below are not in the way. Same way you took it out. Make sure they're below that support. Now we're going to start our bolts. Make sure your holes line up. Do not tighten anything down yet. Just get the bolts started. There's 2 on each side. Now we're going to start our other side. Make sure your bolts are lined up. Once you have all 4 bolts lined up and started, you can tighten them down. Go a 1/4 of a turn more after you've tightened them. And now we're going to go on the other side and tighten those down as well. Tighten your other side. Go a 1/4 of a turn. Go a 1/4 of a turn. Push in your connector into the lower radiator support. You can lower down your jack. Remove your plugs for the AC condenser lines. Make sure you put some PAG oil on your lines, your AC lines, before installing them. Also inspect the O-rings, make sure they're in good shape. If they're not, you want to replace them. Line them up with a stud and then apply pressure. Put on your nuts, tighten down the nuts and torque them to 133 inch-pounds. Connect your connector to your line. Connect your fan connector. Make sure you hear that click, and then you're going to put your grommet in that hole. And now we're going to put it in the radiator. You're lining up this flat edge with the flat edge on the radiator. Make sure you click it in and it's secure. Okay, so here we are. We're underneath the radiator. Underneath the car, we're going to put our lower hose on. And now we're going to put our clamp on. I'm going to use my locking pliers again. You don't have to, you can just use regular pliers if you want. Once you get it in a good place, you can loosen your hose clamp. You can adjust if needed, but we're in place for the most part. All right, let's put our other hose on. Once you get it in position, get your hose clamp ready. I have mine locked. A little tab here that you can undo after you're done. Once you get your hose clamp on, you're going to position it in place right around there. Push up your lip off your grill shutter and make sure that's secure. Install your splash shield. Line up these two holes first, and then work your way around. Start your screws by hand. There's two here. I'm under the driver's side. Tighten them up. Do the same on the other side. One goes here, here, and here. There's some push pins that belong around the perimeter. Ours are all missing, so we're going to have to replace ours. Just do the best you can and put them back. And just follow the perimeter and do the same thing. There is another shield around here that covers up all of this. Just follow your red push pins that are around the perimeter and reattach it. Remove your cap. Set it aside and begin to fill up your coolant. You're going to want to fill this all the way up to the max line. The radiator is going to take in the fluid until it can't anymore, and then you're going to start the vehicle. You're going to let the vehicle run for a while, let it get warm, let that thermostat open up. When it does that, it will burp out some air, suck in the rest of the coolant, fill it up, top it off. Make sure your heat's going as you're doing this, and make sure you have heat. You can shut the vehicle off after, check the level, make sure it's at max. Now we're going to put on the coolant cap. make sure it clicks closed. Make sure you have your AC system recharged by a professional.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.